Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. If you're a first time listener, thank you for stopping by. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we are happy to have you with us today. As always, I have my good friend and my good pal on the show here today, looking good, probably feeling good, but I'm still going to ask him, Al, how are you doing today?
You are correct. I am feeling good. How about you?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, you are correct. I am looking good, but
Well,
it's good. You have that humble pie this morning.
I'm too modest to say that.
There you go. But
Even though it may be true, but
that's true. On the show here, we talk a lot of stock. We shoot a lot of bull, and we do talk about the bears out there as well. But before we do that, we were just having a little conversation a while back, and I have a new nickname for Al today.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, folks.
I know we have nicknames here and there, and sometimes Blue Man Group, but today he is Al One Cup Connickson, because every time he comes in with 1 cup of coffee, not 2, which would be 1 for me. And I've been a little bit upset about that. I've been asking him, where's my cup of coffee, Al? But do you have, since we're live on the podcast here today and we're on the radio airwaves, is there a reason why you just don't bring me a cup of coffee?
It's against the coffee rules.
Oh, okay.
I'm only allowed 1 cup. But
I didn't know
don't be surprised if you show up tomorrow and there's 10 cups of coffee on your desk.
But this is the first, though. I didn't know that you actually follow the rules.
Well, if as long as somebody's watching me, I will follow the rules.
There you
Otherwise,
go.
I might grab an extra cup of coffee.
Exactly.
But, I like to live on the wild side once in a while.
I like it. I like it. Which kind of gets into the topic here today of following the rules, right? I mean, everybody thinks that, we'll talk a little bit about earnings here today, and people think that great earnings mean stock prices go up. That's the rules, right? Well, that's not actually the case. We're going to talk about some of that here today with earnings season popping up. Markets are moving phenomenal. Great opportunities in the financial markets. And Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of the show, 26 years teaching people just like you how to trade and invest in the financial markets. That can be stocks, options, futures, Forex, cryptocurrency, whatever that soup du jour is. Online Trading Academy has content and education to help you make those smart investing decisions. Al, that being said, earnings season.
Mm-hmm.
We had banking at the beginning of the week and looking really good.
Looking very good.
On Wednesday, Tesla and Netflix, great earnings. I believe, Tesla had a surprise of 10%. Netflix had a surprise of up 15%. But the stock price didn't do that. Markets opened up as far as Tesla opening up on the day roughly down about 6%. Netflix down about 7-8%, depending on when you peek at things. So understanding supply and demand in the financial markets is how you make your financial decisions, not based off news and earnings. So I want you to kind of break that down, unpack that a little bit, and how do you help people make smart investing decisions based off supply and demand and not just that thought in the sky?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that people, these are rules that people follow. They're really not rules as much as opinions. Rules are what we use when we show people how to determine whether something is a good investment, what is the right price to pay for it, when should you get out. Those are rules based on what factually moves price and impacts price. You mentioned the 2 stocks, Netflix and Tesla. Only a handful of stocks have been moving this market, and those are 2 of them. And I've said this before, when you have stocks that are so highly valued, overvalued, I guess I would say, then they have to prove themselves. They have to justify that high valuation. There was enough negative information in each of those earnings reports that they spanked those stocks and took them down. But when you have high valuation like that, you have to be aware of it. That's when the number one thing that we teach our students is really important, is that is how to protect your assets. When you have a profit in something, the profit may not always be there. In fact, it won't. There's always going to be things that pull back, that maybe move up, have a really good move on the upside. At some point in time, something is going to cause it to come back down, even if it's just what we call overbought. It may be overbought, maybe too much buying activity, and people are going to sell and take some of their profits. If you have a profit, that's something that you should look at as being yours. Don't let someone take that away from you. And what we hear a lot of times is people come in and say, well, I bought something at, let's just say $100. It went up to $200 and I had this nice profit, but I held on to it too long. It came back to $100, so I didn't really lose anything. I broke even. Yeah, you lost something. You lost $100 in profit that could have been in your pocket. So how do you determine when to take a profit? Well, where are the sellers? When price stops going up, only one thing causes that to happen, and that's sellers that come in and sellers overcome the buyers. If you could identify that, wouldn't that be a good place to put a profit target? That's what we do. Part of our strategy shows you not only how to get into something, but how to get out of it. If you are going to take any kind of an investment position, trading or investing, there's three components to that. There's an entry, and there's an exit if you're wrong, and there's an exit if you're right. If you follow what Wall Street tells people to do, they disregard those two exits. They say, just get into the market and just hold on. Don't worry about these pullbacks. What you're seeing with this volatility, expect it to continue. One of the things that's happening next week, Josh, in the NASDAQ, there's 5 stocks that have propelled the NASDAQ. You've got Microsoft, Apple, Google, NVIDIA, and Amazon. They have a hugely, that's the right word? Bigly value in the NASDAQ because it's weighted. So they're changing the weighting of those stocks. So that's going to have an impact on those companies. There'll be some great opportunities both when that first happens because of the volatility and then when they get back to a more normal functioning mode. So some good volatility coming up, which means great opportunities for us.
Yeah, I like that. And what Al is talking about with an entry point, a stop, and a target, it's a setup. And that's what we do at Online Trading Academy is help people make smart investing decisions. It's really helping people make financial decisions to make more or to have more choices down the road. And it could be for today or down the road. So what he's talking about is a setup so you're protected on both ends. And that way you can still do this with your everyday life. A lot of people think you got to be glued to your computer screen and be watching and day trade, quote unquote. And that's really a thing of the past, in my opinion. Come to Online Trading Academy and see how the institutions are doing it. And the strategy is designed for income. The strategy is designed for longer term wealth, building, protecting. And that way you can see what's best for you and make your own decision. We have these investing classes here at the Academy, and they're about 2 hours long. We have these during the week and on the weekend, and we introduce you to all the topics and techniques that we're going to discuss here today on the show and how to make smart investing decisions, whether you're in your income years, what I would consider 20s to 60s, or your retirement years, 60s to 90s or 100s, or some people are living much longer,
beyond, right?
and it'll probably keep getting higher and higher as we progress through the years here. So you're going to need enough to stay retired, but how about have that choice or that opportunity to retire early? See what the strategies are the institutions are using. That way you can have your own decisions. Just text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for this class and the Insider's Kit to help you get started right away. Text investing to the number 210-210. Coming up next, we're going to talk about that setup, how to get in positions and out of positions for an income strategy during those income years that I was just alluding to. This is Josh and Al. We will be right back.